Assalamu alaikum. So in this video, we are going to be doing alkenes. Now, if you have watched the previous video of Introduction to Organic Chemistry and alkanes, then it will be very easy for you to make connections in this video. If you haven't, then stop this video right away and go and watch that one to make connections. Otherwise, you can just continue. Okay, so what are alkenes? Alkenes is a homologous series. Homologous series, we've already discussed classifications of organic compounds. Now these contain one or more carbon-carbon double covalent bonds. We already know what are covalent bonds, and now we need to focus on this carbon carbon double bond, which also is our functional group, which means that in any compound, if we see that there is a carbon carbon double bond, if the structural formula is given and we need to identify if it is an alkene, then one or more carbon carbon double bonds will serve as an identity for alkenes. Okay, now this carbon carbon double bonds also give alkenes its universal characteristic or property, which is being unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now, as it is written hydrocarbons, this also suggests that there will only be hydrogens and carbons that are present in all the organic compounds and alkenes. There won't be any other element. So by this we can conclude that alkanes and alkenes are two homologous series that only contain hydrocarbons. There can be other homologous series which contain other elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, etc. Now, what does unsaturated mean? As alkanes were saturated, these are the opposite, unsaturated. Unsaturated means that the addition is possible. Addition is possible and they are reactive. Whenever we are going to react it with any particular substance or compound, then there will be possibility of addition, substitution, or reaction will take place because they are unsaturated. So any molecule that has double CC bonds is unsaturated. Now, why is this so? Because when we have double bonds between carbon and carbon, if we are going to react it with any substance, these double bonds will break and carbon will become this. So these two bonds that we have over here now can add any substance to them and they can react. That's why addition is possible. We're going to see it with examples later on. The last thing that we need to see over here is the general formula, which is CnH2n. You need to recall that we discussed that the general formula for alkanes was CnH2n plus 2. Now, in this general formula, we can easily conclude that the number of carbon atoms will, the number of hydrogen atoms will be double than the number of carbon atoms in alkenes. Now, moving forward, we have the first three alkenes present. Now, my question to you is pause the video and think, why do we not have methane over here and we start the series by ethene? The answer to this question is that meth means one carbon atom. However, we just studied that alkenes have two carbon atoms double bond as their functional group, as their identity. Now, any element which doesn't have this carbon carbon double bond won't be an alkene at all. Now, methane has only one carbon atom, but the least carbon atoms that are required to make an alkene are two, which automatically tells us that there won't be any methane in alkenes. We will start it by ethene, propene, and butene. You should observe that in each of the structural formulas, we have the carbon-carbon double bond, which is why this is known as an ethene. And we are keeping in mind that carbon will only make 4 bonds. Thus, 2 bonds are made in this ethene, 2 bonds are made with this carbon, and 1 bond and 1 bond, and 1 bond and 1 bond. This needs to be kept in mind in drawing structural formulas. And the last thing you need to observe is that the formula of ethene, propene, and butene all are in the same form as CnH2n. Moving forward, we need to take a look at the physical and the chemical properties. Starting with the physical properties, we know that the first three are gases at room temperature. The first three are ethene, propene, and butene. These three are the gases at room temperature, and the other later in the homologous series may become liquids or solids as the structure or the molecular size increases. The second point that we have is the melting and the boiling point increases due to increase in molecular size. This is the same as the alkanes. As we can see over here that the molecular size is increasing, and as the molecular size is increasing, we need more energy to break the bonds because the bonds then become stronger, and thus we can say that the molecular size is increasing. Moving forward, they are also flammable as were the alkenes. However, they have a more sootier flame. Why do they have a more sootier flame? Because they have more carbon content as compared to alkanes. Okay, these were the physical properties. Now moving on to the chemical properties of alkenes. The first chemical property is the combustion reaction. Alkene reacting with excess oxygen will make the same products, carbon dioxide and water or steam. This reaction is similar to the reaction with alkanes. There needs to be excess oxygen that you need to keep in mind, and whenever there will be scarcity of oxygen, there will be carbon monoxide or combination of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide formed. Now these are the 2 points. First point is that alkene burn with sootier flames as compared to alkanes. This is because alkenes have more carbon content as compared to the hydrogen content. Okay, so that's why they burn with a sootier flame. And secondly, alkenes have a higher, this is just the same point that I have just done. Now the addition reaction. Now the addition reaction are multiple kinds of addition reaction take place in alkenes. What is an addition reaction? Addition reaction is when an unsaturated organic compound combines with another substance to form a new compound. Why is addition possible in alkenes and not alkanes? This is mainly because, as we studied, that let's take an example of the ethene without hydrogen carbons. Okay, so we have two carbon atoms that are bonded in this double bond. Now addition is possible because then these double bonds are going to break and become a single bond, and the two bonds will be left, which can now invite other substances to bond, such as hydrogen or oxygen or any other substance, and they can add the substance, and that's how addition is possible in an alkene and not an alkane, because alkanes do not have double bonds but alkenes do have double bonds, and when double bonds break there is addition possible. That's why they are known as unsaturated hydrocarbons as well. Now every addition that we're going to study is dependent on this mechanism, so you need to keep this in mind. Now addition of hydrogen is the first kind of reaction that we have, which is also known as hydrogenation. There are two conditions for this reaction. The first is that it only takes place best at 200 degrees Celsius, and the nickel is the catalyst that is used. We have the example of ethene. Ethene has these double bonds and ethene has this structural formula. We are adding hydrogen because this is addition of hydrogen in the presence of nickel and 200 degrees Celsius temperature, which results in the formation of ethane, because the double bonds they broke and they binded with the two hydrogen atoms to form a structure which we call as ethane, as we have already studied. So the addition of hydrogen will convert an alkene to alkane, alkene to alkane. So you need to remember that alkene will always be turned to an alkane because of the breaking of double bonds and formation of single bonds with only carbon and hydrogens in the addition of hydrogen of alkenes. Moving on, the second kind of reaction that we have is the addition of steam or the addition of water, which is also known as hydration. The conditions for this reaction is 300 degrees Celsius temperature, 60 atmospheric pressure, and phosphoric acid as the catalyst. So we have the structural equation that we have drawn. You are going to write the molecular formulas in place of these structures, and you can write the equation and balance it. So we have ethylene, or we can say that this is ethene. This reacts with water to form ethanol. Now when we have water, so we know that this is oxygen that is present, that is other than carbon and hydrogen. So when oxygen will be added, this won't remain a hydrocarbon, and this oxygen always is added with a hydrogen. Let's take a closer look at what the structure of water looks like. There is one hydrogen and this OH bond. So basically, the double bond between carbon and carbon is going to break, and these two are going to be bonded this way. We cannot we are going to there is a bond that is present between oxygen and hydrogen. However, we can write it this way as well, and we do not have to bind the oxygen separately and hide this hydrogen separately, because we want to make it as an ethanol, and ethanol has the functional group as OH, and you will know if you have if you have watched the first video. So by this we can see that alkenes will convert to alcohols in the reaction of addition of water or addition of steam, which is hydration. Moving on, we have halogenation of alkenes. Now we are done with the two addition reactions. Now we are moving forward to halogenation. Halogenation is a reaction with halogens. Halogens are group 7 elements of the periodic table. We are taking the reaction of bromine with an alkene. The alkene that we have is again ethene, which is the first member because of the two carbon atoms, and we are going to react it with bromine. Now you need to recall that in the video of alkanes, we studied that when halogens are added to alkanes, that reaction is known as a substitution reaction, whereas in this we are saying it as an addition reaction or a halogenation reaction. This is one difference. Now when bromine is going to be added to an alkene, it will form this kind of a bond, as every previous bond was in a similar structure, and this kind of a bond, this kind of a bond can be simply termed as so the formula for this kind of a bond is C2. The formula is C2H4Br2 for this bond, and this is known as dihalide, which is di is for 2, and we have two halogen, which is the bromine, reacting with this alkene to form single bonds, and this becomes a structure. This is not an hydrocarbon because we have bromine added, and that this is a structure. The name for this structure can be 1,2-dibromethane, but you don't need to memorize this. Now, we have taken bromine as an example over here. However, this is the same reaction that goes on for every kind of halogen that we have, be it chlorine or any other halogen. Now, as we just did the bromination or the reaction of bromine, we should know that it holds very significant, it holds special significance. Why? Because in order to test whether an organic compound is an alkane or an alkene, we are going to add bromine in water, not bromine as gas, but bromine in water, which is a reddish brown substance. Okay? So the reddish brown water is going to be added to both of them, and when they added to both of them, the alkanes will turn reddish brown. However, the bromine water, which was in orangish brown color, in alkenes will remain colorless, which means that alkenes have reacted with bromine to form a compound which is colorless. So basically, in order to test whether an organic compound is an alkene or an alkane, we add bromine water, and alkenes will turn colorless, whereas an alkane will not react and they will remain the reddish brown color.